Hey guys, Tepco Cycle Repair. Let's knock out a quick carb clean on an XR 100. This is a 2002, same carburetor on just about every model, XR CRF 180. I've already taken the carburetor off. Here's the slide right here. Needle looks pretty good right there, but make sure you clean this as well and clean this slide so everything moves freely. I got a tech tip video on how to help you guys get this off by softening it up with a heat gun, so make sure you check that video out as well. Let's go over to the bench. Alright, so here we are with the carburetor off, and you can see it looks like somebody's used some sealant and something in there already. We're going to have to clean that off, I'm sure. And a lot of times what happens with that stuff is it'll break free, go into the bowl, and clog up some jets. So when you're using anything like this here, you want to use it extremely sparingly, but even better, you want to try to get a new gasket when you're taking these apart because they usually go bad. Alright, so to start out with, I'm going to go ahead and just give this thing a quick spray down and get any dirt and anything off of here so we don't track any dirt back up. And this is not the right O-ring in here either. So they replaced this with something, seal that up as well. So let's get this all cleaned up. All right, with that clean, let's go ahead and pull this off. See what we got in here. So this bike is not starting. It's been sitting for, I don't know, about a year. It looks like someone's worked on it. It didn't have a spark. I had to fix one of the stator wires were broken that went into the stator cover. So with that fixed, we have a spark and still no start. So looking at the carburetor and that it's been messed with, we definitely got to take it apart. And being this bowl is sealed on here, try to get it off. It's like a surprise every time. Open up a carburetor. You never know what's going to be in here. Thing's on there. Sealed. Here it goes. Okay, really not too bad. Better than I thought it would be. Just going to get all the sealant off of here, because I bet that gasket is still working just fine. So this was also, like I said, it was overflowing. So we're going to check the float needle, make sure that the seat is all nice and clean. I'm going to get all the sealant off of here. All right, so let's get into this. All right, guys, so first off, this is a good idea. It's a good idea to check these things, especially if you see that they've been messed with at all. Because I don't know if you guys noticed that, but can you see this right here? This is not in right. So that float height is going to be, like, who knows? I wonder if they adjusted the float height to the tab like that, because that's all wrong. And the tab is supposed to be hooked over this, and it's not. So let me get this pin out of here, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. That's when we take the pin out here. This float should pull the float needle out, but look, see, it's not hooked on there. This is supposed to be hooked on to the float. So that was in there wrong. So that's throwing off your float height. These are the things you got to check, all right? So let's get our jets out of here. These are pretty simple carburetors on these. You have our main jet right here with the emulsion tube. We're going to get both of those out. Sometimes they come out together. It's no big deal. You can just grab the emulsion tube and then turn the jet out of it. All the holes look good, but we're going to clean that out. Then we're going to take our pilot jet out of here. Look at that. Look, it's not even tightened in all the way. Alright, so let's get that out of there. See what size it is. So this one is a 35. And the main is a 98. All right, so I like to run in these XR100s a 38 100. I don't have a 100 with me, so I'm going to just throw the 38 in there for now, and I'll get this one all cleaned up. All right, so I'm going to clean those up. Now let's check this mixture screw. Let's see if this is in right. This gets messed up a lot. Let's see where they're at. 1/2, 2. All right, 2 1/4. That's not too bad. It's about right. It's a dirty needle right there. There is a there's our spring, but I don't see. Hang on, let me get my inspection light. There's supposed to be, you know, an O-ring and a washer in there, but I don't really see it. It looks like something's messed up in there. Hang on. All right, so I don't see a washer in there, so we're going to try to get this O-ring out. And see, because without that O-ring, it's not going to sit in there flush, and we're going to have some trouble. So, okay, here it is, but there's no washer. All right, so we got the O-ring. We don't have a washer, so I'm going to have to. Pretty sure I have one of those. The O-ring looks okay, which is good. But yeah, they're supposed to be. So you're supposed to have the spring on here, then a washer, and then the O-ring. Okay, without the washer on there, this spring is going to push on the O-ring, and it's going to make the O-ring not sit flush, and you won't get a good accurate mixture in there. It looks like our tip is bent. Yeah, it is. So I'm going to try to fix that as well. Alright guys, so first off we're going to clean that needle seat because there was fuel leaking out of there. So I'm going to be using a little bit of, this is valve lapping compound, fine. Put a little bit on a drill and just give it a cleaning. Not pushing hard, just letting it do its work. Just giving it a good cleaning. You can do this by hand too, it's just quicker with the drill. You can see in there it's nice and shiny now. You always want to have a good surface. That surface can get pitted from water and stuff in there, and it won't let the needle seal. That little rubber bit on the end of your float needle won't be able to seal if there's all pits in there. So make sure you give it a good look. Usually the valve compound will clean it up pretty good. All right, so I'm going to spray that out with some cleaner and get all that compound out of there. All right, so with that all cleaned up in there, nice and shiny again, I'm just going to take a clean Q-tip, which is the other side of the one we just used, and just make sure that there's no residue or anything in there. So we're just going to do that by hand and make sure that it's nice, good, and like new. Yeah, looking good. See that? Look at that. Woo! All right, so next thing we're going to do here is we have our main jet and our emulsion tube. So we're going to take another number 7mm wrench right here, and we're going to pull it apart from the main jet just so I can show you guys. If you had them left together, it's really not a big deal, but let's just pull it apart. If we can. Pretty tight together here. Well, they're not coming apart, and there's no need to really force it apart. So we're going to leave that together. I'm just going to make sure that it's nice and clean. The main jet has got a big hole in it, so if you look inside there, you can see light through it. There's just tons of, it's a lot bigger hole. The pilot jet is the really small hole that clogs up, and that affects your idle and your starting, warming up, having to run it on choke. All those are pilot settings. So I just got a piece of wire here, sticking it through all the holes, giving it a good spin to make sure I get the inside of the hole cleaned out good. Spray it down with some carburetor cleaner, and I'm going to stick it back in. I got some compressed air as well. That's all good. Alright, so we're at reassembly now. I was able to find a washer for the mixture screw, so you can see now that I have, alright, I see I got a spring and then a washer right there, see? Washer and then our mixture screw. Or O-ring, sorry. Spring, washer, O-ring. That's how they go together. So let's put that in. And I straighten the tip out a tiny bit. Usually those get bent from people just sticking them in there too aggressively and tighten them down all the way until they get jammed in there. You don't want to do that. So just, you're going to spin this, and the needle actually pokes through a little tiny hole right there. So we're going to screw that in just until it seats lightly. Okay, right there. I'm going to give it 1/2, 1/2, 2 turns out, and then we'll adjust it from there while it's on the bike. I also found a better sized O-ring. All right, so this is the O-ring that was in there, and then this is the one that should be going in there. All right, so we're going to get rid of that big O-ring. That's going to go in here when we put it back on. Right now we got our main jet. Let's throw our main jet back in. Main jet and emulsion tube. I got butterfingers today, guys. Sorry about that. In the middle. Not too tight. Just get them snug. And then we're going to stick that 38. This one is the 38. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that, but you can see light through there, nice and clean. And we're keeping the 35 out of there. Hondas tend to be, everybody says they're cold-blooded because they take a long time to warm up. Usually this pilot is pretty small. So we're going to get that in there. Alright, so that's snugged in there now. Now we're going to get our float and get our float height set, because being that it was all messed up before, we're going to have to recheck everything. So let's get this needle all cleaned up and make sure that we don't have anything sitting on here. So I'm going to take a little brush and we're just going to just get this clean. Now there's a little spring needle on this as well. All right, and it's right here. Make sure that this is springing in here good. All right, see that right there? Make sure that works good. That'll get stuck too, and it'll, see if we get that in focus. Because if that messes up, that's no good as well. So let's clean this up. A little carb clean. Okay. So we're going to take this now and I'm going to put it on the float the right way. Float looks pretty good. I don't see any damage on it. All right, so take our float and you're going to hook it on here. So that's how it should be sitting. All right. So when you take your float off, everything should come off together. So now let's put it in and see what height it's set at. After they probably bent up this tab, trying to get the float height right with the needling wrong. So let's put that there. Got our float pivot pin in. And then look at our float height. It's all messed up. That needs to be at 15 millimeters. So check the float height. All right, you don't want to compress that little spring I just showed you. We're just going to set it till it just touches right there, and then I'm going to check it. And we are a little low, so we're going to get that fixed by taking this tab. And you can just take a screwdriver, a flathead like this, and stick it in here, and just give it a light bend. Okay, we're good right there. All right, so you can see it's not completely flat. If it was completely straight with the gasket surface, that would be, let's see, where would it be at there? About 13.9, okay? So if that is too high, right? If your float height's supposed to be at 12.5 and you're at almost 14, it's not going to let enough fuel in because it hangs down low like this. When it fills up with fuel, it moves up. So make sure you get it to 12 high so there's enough fuel in here. So right now, $12.7. So we're good right there. Okay, then we're going to put this little splash guard in here. Remember the splash guard helps for any fuel around getting into the main jet, so it helps it get in there and not get any air gaps or anything. We're going to drop our bowl in now. All right, so putting that on. I cleaned up all the gasket residue that was left on there. Let's get these screws on here. Again, not too tight. You'll just strip them and make them harder to get off the next time. These are actually JIS sized heads that you need for this, but I'm using a number 2 on my, it's a snap-on number 2 that works pretty good. It's kind of worn out, but all right, everything looks good. These holes right here, just make sure you spray those out. They're pretty big, they're not going to be clogged or anything, but make sure you spray those out. That helps with air and stuff and helps all your jets work properly. I don't know if you see, but if you can put a hose in here, you'll see it spray out of the main jet, the emulsion tube. And if you put it in this one here, there's a little tiny hole right next to that. All right, so you want to make sure you get flow through both of those, and they're all good. Let's go put it back on. Putting this back on, guys, there's 2 slots. Okay, this side right here, it has a little angled cut in it. This is your idle side, and this is the guide side that keeps it straight. So when you look at inside of here, you're going to have a small pin, a pin that you can see down at the bottom. That's your idle. There's your idle screw. That's the idle. And then there's a little pin right, it's not going to focus for you probably, but there's a little pin in there. Down in there. See that pin right there? Okay, and that pin goes into the slot. So when you're putting it in, if you're having trouble getting that slide all the way down, make sure it's rotated the right way. All right, guys, just a quick note. This is my personal bike that I got just to mess around in the yard. You can see they already got some hanky gasket going on in there. So if you're working on this for somebody else, make sure you replace the gaskets and all these things that I found gaskets for. Make sure you get new ones. I'm going to go ahead and order a new intake boot because it's got a little crack right there. It's probably not all the way through. A lot of these will crack on the outside, but they don't go all the way through. And a new gasket here because I want all the stuff to be fresh. So I'll order that all up. But I'm going to show you guys we can get it running just with what we got here in the shop. All right, so let's go ahead and turn the gas on. Make sure we're not dripping anything, and then we're going to fire it up. All right, let's see what it does. Make sure the throttle sticks when it works. That's what I'm talking about. Guys, and that's all there is to it. I mean, I got this thing dirt cheap because it wasn't running. It had a broken wire in the stator, so we had no spark. And the carburetor was, as you guys saw, was put together all wrong. So I'm going to use this thing just to play around the yard and to ride up and down the road and just kind of, you know, mess around with when I'm bored. So, which is a very small time. But these are good bikes, these 100s, and they're good to keep around. To teach people how to ride and stuff like that, so I like to have one. So we got it all running. I'm going to do a couple more adjustments. The timing chain sounds a little loud, so I'm going to adjust that. And I'm going to give it a good oil change and all that kind of stuff and just get it all ready to go. But guys, hopefully you like this video. Hopefully it helps you out to get your XR80, XR100, CRF80, CRF100. They're all the same with the carburetor rebuilds. Please hit the like button, subscribe, hit that bell for further notification, guys. And until next time, this is TEPCO Cycle Repair.